Protests have been happening all over the country for the controversial death by police officers of an unarmed man, Terrence Crutcher, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Several athletes have responded on social media as well. Dwayne Wade put on his Instagram page, "We must come together more. We must show our strength as a Black community more, or we will continue to wake up of stories of us being shot down like we don't matter. We must show that we matter to each other more. We must all do more. Hashtag Terrence Crutcher. Hashtag we are more." Chris Paul tweeted, "Just had this conversation yesterday with my brand partners. Our country is better than this. Hashtag enough is enough. Hashtag Terrence Crutcher." Eric Reed, who has been kneeling with Colin Kaepernick during the national anthem, tweeted, "This is the exact reason for our protest. I cannot comprehend how this continues to happen. Senseless, just senseless. Hashtag Terrence Crutcher." And Ray Lewis tweeted, "It's time for all people to value all life. This is disgusting as a country to let anyone get away with this. It must stop. Hashtag Terrence Crutcher." Ray joins us now. Ray, what's your reaction?
You know, Skip, Shannon, it's sad when you see how we don't value human life anymore. The respect that people don't have for nothing, right? You think about television, where it has went, music, where it has went. And now you think about something I've been studying since I've been watching this unrest go on, is a word that was given to us a long time ago, and it was called dominion. We was given dominion over everything. And now we're showing dominion over everything. We're taking lives without even thinking about it. We're taking lives because of skin color. We're taking lives not because of black and white. We're taking lives because it's good versus evil. It's people who've made their minds up to not think about it. It ain't, if you watch these crimes, these crimes aren't race driven. They're hate driven. To have so much power in your hands to take someone's life by choice. The moment you do it by choice, right? You think about what Colin is doing. He's standing up for it and saying, yeah, let's bring awareness to it. But since he's been kneeling, we've still had numerous murders of cops. And Dwayne Wade said it best. Until we, as Black people, value where we are in this country, we will never see change until we understand that we must stop killing each other to really bring a issue to this. I think we're probably in the saddest state that we've probably ever been in as a country, simply because of one thing: we're letting anybody get away with anything, and then there are no consequences. There are no consequences. When you kill somebody brutally like that, and you have to go and talk about that, there's nothing to talk about. There's things that we need to get done. And that's why I said this last time: policemen must police policemen. If they're not policing themselves, then there's no way we can find out where hate comes from inside the police precincts. But we as a country, we must do better. All lives matter. Black lives matter. And for me, I text my son as soon as I saw this story comes out, and my youngest son, Rasan, and I said, do me a favor. Do what they say, man. Just say yes, sir, and walk away, baby. Don't fight it, because I don't want you to put me in that situation, right? Just when this boils down to what's gonna change, the only thing that's gonna change this if we get back to loving thy neighbor as thyself, putting God at the forefront. We've removed him from the forefront. Prayer is gone from schools. There's no protection anymore. But we're asking people to really change, regardless of religion, right? Regardless of religion. We've took power out of the one person's hands who controls all things. And if we don't get back to that, Skip, I think, we're gonna continue to see this.
God bless for saying that.
It's funny that you say that about your youngest son, because I'm 48 years of age, and when they see me, they see a 6'2", 245-pound Black guy. Mm-hmm. When the police pull me over, I have my driver's license, my proof of insurance, my registration. I have it ready for him. I got two things in mind. I'm trying to get home alive, I'm trying to get him from his vehicle to my vehicle, back to his vehicle, on my way as quick as possible. Everything is yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Even if I'm older than they are, it's always yes, sir, no, sir. I'm trying to engage in as little conversation as possible. Mr. Sharpe, do you know how fast you were going? No, I do not. Mr. Sharpe, do you know how dark the tent is? No, I do not. That's it. I'm not engaging in conversation. I'm trying to get you to and from as quick as I possibly can. You said it also, Ray, is that the good cops must police, and when the bad do something wrong, you must draw attention to it. Because if you are complicit, you are condoning and you are encouraging this behavior. I also ask, if you're asking the black community to not judge all police officers by their lowest common denominator, I ask that you give us the same benefit of the doubt. See, if you want us to look at you like Police Chief David Brown of the Dallas Police Department, everybody commended and applauded how well he handled that situation. Everyone said, that's a great cop. That's who represents the majority of the cops. So when you go to a black neighborhood, I don't care if there's a 95% crime rate there. Do not automatically assume that every black you see is out to do you harm. Do not automatically assume every black you see has done something wrong to make you want to encounter them. You see, the problem is that the optics that we see a terrorist in New York set off a bomb, injure 29. The call goes out. This suspect could be armed and extremely dangerous. He validates that because when you make contact with him, you have a shootout. You don't shoot to kill him. You shoot to injure him because he has something that you might want. He might tell you, I'm not acting alone. There are others, sleeper cells. He might tell you the inner workings of how ISIS, of Al-Qaeda possibly works. So he has something that you can use. But when you look at us, what can you offer me? My life means absolutely nothing to you. So you know what? You will take my life and not think twice. But I tell you what you do in the process of you taking my life, you will leave no stone unturned. Shannon had this many violations. Shannon was stopped 5 times by the police. Shannon was shoplifting. Shannon was this. But the police officers, your record is protected. We don't know and because you know what you do? When you have these complaints filed against an officer, they say, well, you know how criminals are. They'll lie and try to do anything to weasel their way out of it. But your record is protected. So I don't get to see how many negative encounters you've had before with blacks. You see, that's what I don't understand. How can a terrorist, a known terrorist, you want him alive, but a black man with his hands up and his car's broken down, you want him dead? See, and I keep going back, and Ray, I don't think you want to show. In World War II, the black soldiers fighting for the United States of America, they were fighting in Nazi Germany. When they captured the Nazis, the POWs, when they got on the travel cars, the black soldiers had to give their seats up for the POWs. Then they had to move to the back or stand up. So I want you to think about this for a second. We're fighting the enemies, us, white, black, U.S. soldiers. We're fighting the same guy. But when the enemy gets on a shackle, when he gets on the travel car, I'm less than a prisoner of war. And you make me leave. So blacks are looking at television and they're saying, hold on, wait a minute. You know this guy set off a bomb. You know he had a shootout with the police. And you capture him alive? And a black guy, you hear, that's a big dude. He looks like a big bad dude. He looks like he's on something. You can see that from a helicopter hovering 5,000 to 7,000 feet above the ground. You can tell he's a bad guy. You can tell he's on something. I want to know how many negative encounters have the officer, Miss Shelby, had with blacks. I would like to know that, but that's something we will never know. See, instead of the
might find out.
Instead of the police, when someone look, I commend Doug Baldwin for what they did. I understand it. But see, the problem that I have with showing the unity, because that's what the police officers do. when you attack one of them. Because think about, I'm gonna get back to my point. Think about this. The police department in Miami, they got so upset that some of the Dolphins took a knee. They said we might not provide protection.
Right.
So now you get to determine who you want to protect. But when the KKK have a rally, I don't hear none of the police officers say we're not gonna provide service for them.
Right.
Oh, because maybe they might be doing something that you approve of. So now you want only to protect the people that you agree with. That's not how it works.